Hi, welcome to this School of Tao episode. This is all about the archetypal energies of Uranus, planet Uranus. So much has been coming through the last few days about Uranus, so I was like, I'm just going to tap into this beautiful planet, this sentient planet, and just see what comes through as I start to speak. Like really connecting in with the qualities of this planet that are like what I call, this planet I call paradise laughter. It is this sense of like, you know, being called to transcend really and expand. And so this often means like passing through thresholds or like spaces of liminality where we're like moving, transitioning out of one part of our life and into something else. And there is almost like a hilarity. I can kind of hear the laughter. It's like, ha ha ha, like, you know, like the lightness of spirit, but this encouragement of us having to, needing to, and really indulging in the most beautiful way in our humanity as well. So like coming to hold the duality of both, like the inspiration, the fearlessness of our God nature, the imagination and the authenticity of our goddess essence, our signature essence that comes through in everything that we do, like whether it's how we move, how we write, how we speak, everything, you know, this uniqueness. So even if you're translating the same frequency as somebody else, it's always going to come through you in a very specific and unique way. So Uranus is expansion, it's transcendence, it's holding duality of your God nature and this kind of lightness of spirit, but it's also anchoring that with the humanness and the emotionality of what it means to be human. Because sometimes, you know, when we're holding both, there can be a denying of the emotionality, but actually the emotions are so beautiful. The emotions are what connects us. These emotions of our humanness connect us with other humans and our human experience. And I have discovered that, you know, the painful experiences, and tell me in the comments below if you feel the same way, the painful experiences and the challenges, they enter us into this space of the heart where we have to tap into an old pain maybe, and it like cracks us open if we can allow for that emotion to like emerge and pass through and to flow rather than like be pushed down or, you know, discouraged or even distracted away from, right? Like we might get really busy trying to do something else. But actually Uranus is calling for us to express and allow all of those emotions to work through us and to be really as human as possible, even when we are expressing our God nature and shining our light. So much of life is about coming into this kind of paradoxical balance, or it's like a dance, isn't it? You know, it's like finding the middle ground, finding the moderation, not in that you're tuning down your expression, you want to turn that volume up, but it's like finding the balance between godliness and humanness, between play and work and discipline, between like rest and activity, between passivity and action. All of these beautiful, beautiful dances, you know, we really have to find the balance and allow that dancing and weaving between the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is like action, doing, rigid, certainty, stability, you know, unwaverability, kind of mountain-like. And then we have the feminine that's fluid and supple and receptive and open. And really it's about knowing when to be in that open receptive mode, like contextually, is it the right moment to be completely open? Like, is it safe? You know, like really using discernment and judgment about whether it is the moment to be totally open and in your exposed, fully feminine state, or, you know, do you need some masculine structure to be like holding? You know, always are we holding ourselves first? You know, this has got to be the first thing, hasn't it? Am I holding myself stably, securely, so that my feminine essence and magicality and sensuality and sexuality can dance within the framework of this masculine? So Uranus, paradise, laughter, duality, finding the balance and the moderation, but without tuning or turning down our expression. This still needs to be loud and expressive and just as it wants to come through. You know, Uranus is actually asking us to be very vocal, like with our feminine expression, like speak your truth, like let all of yourself out, like be your wild nature, like don't restrain or censor. You know, you're here to contribute in this very magical way to the creational field, to the consciousness field. You know, it's so magical, isn't it? Like every time somebody contributes or speaks something, speaks their truth, you know, even if you don't agree with it, is this point to push up against. And it's so important that we have all of these expressions so that, you know, we come to this closer sense as a humanity of like, where is our personal truth? And then, you know, then where is our collective truth as a people? So Uranus with relationships, I think this is really interesting because often Uranus will show you something. It'll be like a window into something very possible for you. It might show you a relationship where you're like, oh, I've never felt this connected before. You know, I've become more shiny, I'm illuminated, and then might take it away. It kind of gives you all and takes half back because you never lose anything ever, do you? You know, but there is this sense of the law of impermanence with Uranus, and also this coming into that expansion, finding the expansion that you find through a relationship. But Uranus is asking you to find that expansion on your own first. So it will show you the expansion, it will show you the magicality, it will show you the dance between two people that can be like doubly powerful. And then if you lose, inverted commas, lose, if that moves out of your space for a moment or who knows how long for, then the work becomes, and it really is the most, I believe, difficult part of being human, to come to that space of expansion, that expanse of your being, but with the energetic exchange that you've encountered with that person, with all of the appreciation for the growth and alchemical change and transformation that's happened through a relationship, but without holding it at all. And allowing this energy to flow freely, allowing people to move out of your space or to come into your space, like whatever feels natural. But when people move out of your space, to look to find within yourself that same vastness that you experience through that relationship. So when something is taken away, it's never as a punishment. It's never saying you don't deserve to have that. What it's saying is, can you please find that incredible expanse within yourself on your own? And then once you've found it, once you've worked to find the love that you feel or that has been fostered within you through that connection, then you can have it back, you know, either in that person or in another person, in a similar frequency, in a similar sort of chemistry and reaction and expansiveness. It's like saying, you know, don't be dependent, don't attach in a way that you become dependent on that person or energy for your personal expansion. Like whilst we heal through all our relationships, and of course we are animated and ignited and activated by all these different relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, whatever, you know, work relationships, not that any of these necessarily are separate, then we are to use this inspiration to come into a fuller, higher expression of who we are. So it's like tuning into the core of your being and being like, that person, that relationship has shown me something that is already existing as a part of my soul, light or wisdom, and a capacity of my being. So, you know, anything that we experience emotionally is never given to us by a person. Whilst we might be triggered or activated or animated in a certain way, it's always our own emotion passing through that's connected to our very intricate tapestry of life from past lives and this current life and all the experiences up until point now. And so when we experience emotion, it's our emotion, but it's being shown to us through our relationships. So we can use this inspiration, be like, this was already present somewhere within me, but these relationships or this relationship has like really unlocked it. You know, it's about unlocked potential and then not holding on to it, not holding on to this attachment to get it from somebody else, but rather knowing that's an inherent part of you, or that has been awoken inside of you because of the relationship with a particular person. And this is this tantric stretching of life. It's like people come into our life and they're showing you your highest expression. They're showing you your potentiality, and maybe they're there to stay, or maybe they come and then they go and then they come back again. But it's about staying present and not trying to engineer or like agenda the outcome. You know, it's about really being in your body in any particular moment and being like, actually, what has that relationship undressed in me? How am I a more naked version of myself because of that person? Like, what have they shown me? What have they unlocked within me? And then just showing and practicing deep gratitude for all that you've been given, with this sense of there is no loss, even when it feels, even when the physical presence of somebody is absent. And this can be really difficult as a human experience, can't it? When the physical presence of somebody that's so important to you in your life moves out of your space, then the work is like, I have to find this place of like filling myself up in that way that person gave me, so that then I can allow that to re-enter my life in a symbiotic way, but not in a codependent way, just in this I'm open for it to enter, I'm open for it to leave or stay, or do what is best for the everything, individually, collectively, and just for the highest order or the highest becoming of my being. It's like all of our relationships, let this be the question: how is this serving my highest becoming, even if it's the absence of a physical presence? Like, what is it unlocking or revealing within you? What is it calling for? What is it encouraging? How are you becoming stronger, more vital, more mountain-like on your own because of this experience? Because sometimes if we are allowed to have this crutch, sometimes relationships can become like crutches. And then if you become too dependent or too lenient on that crutch, then organic chemistry and actions and reactions occur, so that we come into this space of like, I can stand and hold myself on my own. This is the balanced masculine aspect of your soul. So if we're too chaotic or feminine or passive, then these experiences will happen to bring us into our balanced masculinity. I hold myself in this beautiful frame, and then I can invite that beautiful, pure masculinity into my life in another person, because I'm first being that for myself. And I can only, in this very sovereign way, I can only call into my life, really, and see this reflected back to me, something that I am already being vibrationally, So Uranus energies are in operation if you're looking sometimes for something outside of you. If there's something that you're trying to get from another person in order to fill you up, it's just showing you. So Uranus will bring you somebody or an experience to show you where you need to fill up, and that's why it sometimes moves away. So in the moving away, it's like, how do I fill myself up? How do I give to myself the thing that person was giving me? And it really is the deepest, most challenging thing to provide for yourself. But it is the most beautiful thing, because when you can provide it for yourself, this is when you start to create really beautiful harmony in relationships and in your magnetic attractions. And, in any type of relationship, everything will start to be more harmonic, because you have filled yourself up with all of the vibrational qualities and attributes and things that you wish to summon in. So yes, Uranus, it's inspirational, it's asking for your higher expression. And you do have to be strong. I think the path of awakening and coming into your soul embodied nature, this really requires so much strength, because there's so much collective noise, distraction, lower frequencies, lower expressions, like fear-based decisions. And when you tune in to your inner being, to your inner reality, to your inner knowing, and connect like really acutely with your intuition, your inner teacher, your inner guidance system, then you come into this beautiful frequency of like abundance and magic and quick manifestation and satisfaction, really. Because when we're living in alignment and we're taking actions that are aligned with actually what we truly desire, rather than maybe obligations or subconscious loyalties to like family or other people that we're relating with in our life. When we prioritize and we eradicate all codependency, and we're just firstly coming to this place of like, what does my soul know, and what am I here to express, and what satisfies me the most? Like, what do I desire, and then what do I intend? And then when the actions are born out of the intentionality, this is where we find really beautiful satisfaction. And the more satisfied we are, you know, the more magnetic we become and the more inspiration we get. You know, it's like you start creating and then creation kind of makes itself. And this sense of satisfaction, you know, when you align with your soul and with your desires, brings such peace in the body. So, you know, this is really the way to know when your body feels at peace and you feel any feelings, however small or large, of satisfaction, you know you're on your path of least resistance. Because, you know, this satisfaction is directly related to your desire. It's this mapping of the stars through your beautiful body. And, you know, this is really so connected with your highest expression. So just really asking the question, what satisfies me? What most brings satisfaction and rest and expansion and like the whole heart space opens in the body. So yes, Uranus energies, these are what are coming through the last few days, maybe even the last week. So let me know how this lands for you, how you're responding to these Uranus energies. And yes, inspiration, the highest self-expression, allowing to let go, filling yourself up, being everything that you wish to summon in so that you can see that reflected back to you. This is Uranus. And you can summon these energies at any time. You know, you can actually then start to direction your energy towards summoning that archetypal energy. You could make an altar for Uranus, or make something on the earth that's connected with summoning more of this energy into your life. If you wish to have this strengthening in self-expression, or maybe even you're just experiencing this, you know, just sometimes it's very helpful, isn't it, to be aware of, like, you know, if you're feeling a sense of loss from a relationship, actually turning inwards and seeing, where do I need to satisfy myself, or, you know, where do I need to bring about change so that I can see that change reflected back in my reality. So, magical human, until the next episode of School of Tao, I send you loads of love and kisses through the ether. See you in the next episode.